this little piece of information from, I believe this is from the MSNBC website. The Trump administration, of course, as it continues to wage this authoritarian assault on civil rights, and the latest wrinkle, of course, is to go after universities. This is so fucking Hitlerian. Anyway, he's after the universities now, and these are the places that have been often, most frequently targeted by these ignorant fucking right-wingers in this country, the red hat wearing dumbasses who voted for him. We don't want no education, right? And as he tries to deport an activist who's a legal permanent resident of the United States, the woman who's a professor at Brown University, and now there's another person who's feeling the lash of Trump's Nazism. And he's doing this under the guise that he is working to support anti-Semitism. The fucking liar. Trump is one of the biggest anti-Jewish bigots in America. Meanwhile, some of the Orange Rat's most prominent influencers in the red hat wearing pro-Nazi movement in this country are praising Nazi apologists and defending Hitler. It's happening now. God damn it. There's a blog called theangrywhitemen.org. And according to MSNBC, it published a detailed report on this Maga fuckwad Joe Rogan. You know, the one that Kamala Harris said she didn't have time to go get on his program. Good for her. I thought it was a good idea. Rogan is nothing. The reason he's so popular is because he's a racist fucking idiot, an anti-Semite, racist pig, Joe Rogan. But on his program, he recently praised a Nazi in America named Daryl Cooper. Daryl Cooper faced a lot of condemnation last year for defending Nazi Germany in a podcast interview with another prominent Nazi in this country, this rat fucker Tucker Carlson. Yeah? How about these guys? Joe Rogan, what a son of a bitch. What a treasonous bastard Rogan is, right up there with Tucker Carlson. But Mike, come on. Rogan has 80 trillion, million, billion, goddamn zillion listeners. How many do you have, Malloy? You ain't shit. Well, if one way of judging the political correctness of a Nazi like Rogan is to consider his number of listeners, yeah, okay. I have no argument with that. Anyway, on the podcast I'm talking about, this Nazi fucker Rogan promoted a variation of the so-called replacement theory, that idea that these white men in this country are just shitting their pants over. It makes their scrotums just retract into their body cavity. They get so fucking upset. Oh, my God. Jews will not replace us, neither will the Negroes and the coloreds. And no, oh, my God. You dumb fucks. Oh, my God. So Rogan was talking about the replacement theory and promoting it while he was discussing immigration. And at that time, he was defending this Nazi son of a bitch, Daryl Cooper, from allegations that he was a Nazi himself. Cooper. Rogan said, quote, his work is very valuable to me and it's very valuable to human beings that want to hear this nuanced, comprehensive perspective on these conflicts. Oh, go fuck yourself, Rogan. I mean, nuanced, comprehensive perspective about the white boy scared shitless replacement theory? Oh, Rogan, you are such a dumb fuck. You really are. And the people who listen to you. Oh, Jesus, I get so sick of these people. By the way, that angrywhitemen.org blog recently published a report on another asshole, another American Nazi named Jake Shields. These fuckers are all over the place. They really are. They're like cockroaches. You know, if you go into an apartment that you're thinking about renting and you see a cockroach scuttle across the floor, leave immediately. because that means there are thousands of them behind the baseboard, under the stove, behind the refrigerator. Get the fuck out of there as quick as you can. Same thing with these American Nazis. You hear about one, it means there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these rat fuckers, these betrayers of the American Constitution who are lurking in the shadows, which is where they belong, so that at some point they can move out with their tiki torches and talk about Jews will not replace us. Oh, you cowardly pricks. Oh, my God. Anyway, this Jake Shields piece of shit claimed that Hitler, quote, wasn't pushing hatred towards other races, end quote. No, Hitler was all about love and companionship and being very sympathetic to minority groups in Germany at the time. Right, you dumb son of a bitch, Shields? Oh, my God. Now, of course, these are not, as Jahan Jones points out in this piece at MSNBC, these aren't isolated incidents. There's a Hitler-loving rapper, Ye. I hate that fucker. And who happens to be black, of course. And white nationalist influencer called Nick Fuentes, this little son of a bitch. What? I mean, these people are just... Okay, take a deep breath, Malloy. Anyway, Ye and Nick Fuentes. By the way, Fuentes was a dinner guest of the sewer rat back in 2022. Anyway, Ye and Fuentes were both seen this week in a video posted by Ye on X. It's since been deleted. And in that video, Ye was wearing a swastika necklace, apparently made out of diamonds. You fucking idiot, you. Which, if you wonder, if you have any questions about it, not all racist fucking pigs are white in this country. Not all anti-Semitic devils are white in this country. Not all Christian fuckwads are white in this country. There are a number of black ones, too. Ye being one of the most prominent, if not the most prominent. And there's somebody named Leo Terrell, who came out of the Fox sewer. And he was selected to lead the sewer rats' so-called anti-Semitism task force. Oh, right. And this Terrell fuckwad recently shared a white nationalist tweet saying the president, that would be the orange sewer rat, can, quote, revoke someone's Jew card, end quote. Revoke someone's Jew card. Now, what's that about? That was in response to a tweet with the pro-Nazi in chief, the sewer rat, saying that Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, quote, used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. And the slam on Palestinians, Trump talks about Palestinians as if they were fucking vermin, when it is Trump who is the fucking cockroach. Jahan Jones winds up this piece by saying this, quote, all this is to say, don't be gaslit. As the Trump administration uses claims of anti-Semitism to crack down on civil rights, the president is leading a movement, growing more emboldened in his support for Nazi apologists, Nazi ideology, and Hitler himself, end quote. All of this, I have to share with you kind of my own personal pissed off feelings. I've been talking about these Christian fuckers moving slowly but inexorably towards Nazism for at least 20 years in doing talk radio or a podcast or what have you. Warning over and over. And I'm not the only one. I'm not making a claim of exclusivity. I'm just saying it was so fucking obvious that, first of all, this fascist bullshit was a millimeter beneath the surface in American society. I mean, take a look at our past. We came here and butchered an entire population of millions of native people. Then we dragged black Africans here, while in the process drowning millions of them in the Middle Passage to get them here to do slave work. I mean, what the fuck? If this isn't fascism, our whole history is based on fascism. The framers of the Constitution of the United States were fascist in a very broad sense, or should I say a very narrow sense. Oh, they wrote great documents, no doubt. Fucking Russia has documents based on the U.S. Declaration, the U.S. Constitution. Does Putin follow it? Please. So the idea that racist, anti-Semitic, fascist, Hitlerian bullshit is in this country, it always has been. But take a look at the German-American Bund. Go back to the 1930s. There is all kinds of shit online. You know, on your goddamn phone, you have access to just about every fucking library on earth. Every piece of film and video that's ever been archived. It's there. Look at it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to yell at you. But over all those years when, you know, your humble and obedient servant here was standing up on my hind legs, screaming and yelling and clawing at the air about Nazism in this country, about fascism, about Hitler sympathizers, about the rise of these fuckers. It's just like the Chumbawamba song, you know, the Nazis have never gone away. They've always been here. And people will never be free until the last Nazi dies. And you can read into that anything you want to read into it. So, loose in this country, the so-called influencers. Don't you love that fucking term, influencers? Like this pig fucker Joe Rogan, who sits there with his goddamn bald head talking about, you know, all the wonders and glories of these American Nazis. And don't for a second believe the shit, well, he's just trying to educate people about what's going on. No, he's not. He's a Nazi propagandist. He has been since the beginning. He just kept it covered up and while he built up his 80 trillion, billion, quadrillion listeners, viewers, whatever the fuck they are. I don't know what Rogan does, if it's video, audio, or both. I don't give a shit, except for the fact that slime like him is loose in the country and they are doing Trump's filthy work. While they destroyed the Constitution, while they work to end this democratic republic, you fuckers. Boy, I just... You'd think that these rich bastards would have something else they could do to entertain themselves. Go on a fucking trip, Rogan. Go buy another yacht. Go buy a fucking jet. Go away. All of these people. Why are you here trying to destroy the United States? There are 350 million people who live here. Do you think that we want this kind of shit coming out of your filthy pig-hole mouths? Oh, so 77 million people voted for Trump. What the fuck does that mean? That's 20% of the population. The other 80% did not. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.